All right, how's everyone doing? Did any of you guys buy anything for Black Friday? I'm just kind of curious what Black Friday deals you took advantage of, as I kind of think that Black Friday this year was a little weak, in my opinion. I didn't see a whole lot of just must haves. I had already just been deciding what I wanted, and some were, what do you call it? Just purchases I made on a whim just because they look like a good deal and I needed the parts. I kind of been cycling out my outdated weapon light setups. As you can see, I still have some outdated weapon lights, but I'm in the process of putting duty grade weapon lights on all my duty ARs, basically all the ARs that I've designated for home defense use that are good AR-15s in my opinion, not just range toys. So before Black Friday and everything, I started buying different lights just to see what I like. Quite honestly, I like all of them. Cloud Defensive is good. Mod Light is good. Arisaka is really good for the money. They're basically the step down in about $70. So you got 300 and let's call it like $379.99, $380 for the Cloud Defensive, but it comes with everything you need out of the box, which is really nice. Mod Light's $309 with their complete package, but it doesn't come with the mount, but it comes with the tail cap, body, battery, head. So almost everything you need out of the box. And then Arisaka, the Mod Light's $39. Arisaka, this 18650 body and this top of the line head, which is an E2 XLT, I believe, with their Arisaka momentary on tail cap, 18650 body, that Malkoff head, and the Arisaka offset mount. This was only $237 shipped straight to my door. So everything you need right out of the gate was $237. And this was a little more expensive, the 600 series. This one ended up costing me, because I had to buy the mount and this Z68 Surefire tail cap separately, it ended up costing me $240 for everything as you see it. So Black Friday, I decided to go with Mod Light because they only run a sale one time a year. That is for Black Friday. A year or two ago, they were doing 25% off. Now they're only doing 15%, but I just still decided to take advantage of it. Bought two 18650 PLHV2 complete packages of mossy green with two Arisaka offset mounts, M-LOK offset mounts, two Surefire DS double lots, and a Mod Light mod button. And two 18650 Mod Light batteries. Ended up just going with them because Arisaka, Cloud Defensive was completely sold out of every single Rain 2.0 on their website before the sale even started. And when their sale dropped, they had zero in stock. Doesn't matter if it was the full size, the micros, and they're black, flat dark earth, OD green, or clear anodized. Doesn't matter which one it was, they were completely sold out. So I'm not entirely sure why they even decided to run a Black Friday sale if they didn't have any in stock. So shame on you, Cloud Defensive, for not having enough in stock. And then Arisaka, I didn't see anything on Arisaka's website that seemed like it was any cheaper than regular price, because if you just, like I said, you buy I bought all Arisaka products because I thought you'd get a bigger discount when you packaged it all together, and $237 is pretty good for a complete weapon light package, including the mount and everything. And then this is a very high quality light, so I wasn't entirely aware that Arisaka sold their lights so cheaply. Otherwise, I might not have initially invested into Olight. But anyway, that's what I purchased on Black Friday. As far as weapon lights go, I almost bought a Surefire X300U B. Decided not to, just because I made another couple purchases. I bought a Unity riser for this setup, and then a Unity Omni riser for my G33. So I got a 2.26 height over bore optic mounts for both my Vortex and my G33. The Unity Unity riser was $74, and the Omni mount was 207. So those were a good price. Still expensive for adding pretty much an add-on for an optic system that already works and functions just fine. I ended up buying, and that was these were from two different retailers. I just found a good price on them. I ended up buying straight from Radiant's website a charging handle for my 50 Shades of Gray Aero Precision build that I've got going on here. So I salvaged this from my ADM because I ended up putting this Aero Breach in my ADM. And I decided to go with the tungsten gray regular Raptor charging handle, not the SL, not the LT, not the SD, just the regular good old Radiant Raptor. And the tungsten gray was $66 shipped to my door. So I believe Radiant still has their charging handles and their Talons on sale. Nothing else seems to really be on sale. None of their uppers, none of their lowers. That is kind of a shame. I would have liked to see Radiant pulling a sale on their complete uppers, even if they're back ordered. I probably would have purchased one if they were on sale, but they were not. So instead, I went to Geisley, bought another Super Duty upper. I decided to go with 14.5 inch this time. And you know what's pretty interesting is that I noticed that their 14.5 and 16-inch uppers, whether it be URGI or their Super Duties, sold out within an hour of them posting the sale. Almost all their 14.5 inches, all their 16 inches didn't matter. Now, what they kept in stock and what's still available from what I can see are their like 11.5s and their 10.3s. I have to suspect it's because of the possible new pistol brace ruling that ATF's coming out with here soon. That may change regulations on shorter barreled weapons. So I'm not entirely sure why the 14.5s and 16s sold out so quickly, but that's my suspicion. I like 14.5. 14.5 is a really good length. It does seem a lot shorter than 16. The only downside is if you put a stock on a 14.5, you have to pin and weld the muzzle device. So you can't change it out. That's why I kind of like Geisley. Geisley puts muzzle devices that are compatible with suppressors already. Not sure. I know Radiant has that option. Daniel Defense doesn't. This is a pin and welded Daniel Defense DDM4V7 with their bigger flash hider. It's not an A2. It's just a little bit longer than an A2. So I don't know. I like the Geisley Super Duties. I ended up getting the Geisley Super Duty and the anodized green or OD green, whatever you want to call it. They're complete upper. I'll probably end up buying an anodized green, like either Radiant Model 1 lower or an ADM UIC Mod 2 anodized green lower, or a Geisley anodized green lower, and building out that 14.5 inch down the road. And I ended up buying a Geisley Maritime bolt catch for this build because I've been having problems with this Strike Industries one. So it doesn't, not on every magazine, it's on Magpul magazines, it won't hold the bolt back on the last round. So and unless I press down on it first and then it'll lock it back, but for whatever reason the tolerances are loose or something. So I just decided to buy Maritime bolt catch for this particular one to change out this bolt catch. Hopefully that'll solve the problem. And like I said, I bought the tungsten gray to match all the off gray that I have going off on this 50 Shades of Gray build that I have going on. So I thought that would be kind of cool. And talked about the optics riser. Bought Holosun 407. The 407K ended up costing me, I think it was like 190 bucks. That's about the cheapest that I've been able to see Holosuns in a little bit, and you could actually use a coupon code on them. That's the first time in a long time that you're able to do that. And I bought a Breek Arms blast forwarding device that is compatible with these outside the thread flash hiders that I bought from Breek Arms too. That was like 20 bucks. So just decided, probably really didn't need the part, but It is kind of handy when you're shooting around people to have a blast forwarding device. Not with flash hiders so much, but with like muzzle brakes and comps. So I probably didn't really need that. That was kind of like a spur of the moment type purchase, more or less. But I did it. But I did end up spending quite a bit of money. Knew I was going to end up spending quite a bit of money, or I had planned on it. The Geissele Super Duty kind of hurts a little bit. Everything else wasn't that bad because on the mod lights I do PayPal, so I can make 4 payments on it every 2 weeks, and there's no interest or anything. It's kind of nice being able to buy bigger package purchases and making like basically 2 month payments on it, you know, or 4 payments over the course of 2 months, however you want to call it, bi-weekly. It's pretty nice. So I budget my gun budget to that a lot of times. Allows me just to purchase more parts. Optics Plant does the same thing. So I can buy some of the nicer optics, Scope List, Euro Optic. They all accept PayPal too. That's how I was able to afford the EOTech with the G33. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to save up $1,000 at one time to put down on guns and gun parts, but I do it. The Geissele, technically, it says it'll probably take about 8 weeks to ship out. So I technically have 8 weeks to save for this Geissele Super Duty. I technically don't have the money for it in my account. If Geissele sent it, the confirmation to me tomorrow, I would just be screwed. I'd have to cancel the order. It's going to take me at least 2 or 3 weeks to save for this Geissele Super Duty. But I wanted it, and I can at least make money on it if I decide not to keep it. I could sell that upper for $1,050 and make money off that Geissele Super Duty 14.5 inch and anodized green. So I think I did okay there. So, but that's my Black Friday spending experience. Did you guys spend anything on Black Friday? I'm kind of curious what you guys ended up finding. I have plenty of pistols. I have plenty of ARs. Thought about buying some lowers because of the assault weapons ban that's being proposed. I have a hard time believing an assault weapons ban could actually take place for a long period of time, so I'm not too worried about it, although I don't like that it's even in discussion, to be honest with you. But I'm not too worried about because I already have ARs, but like it's not about me. It's about like the future people who want to buy ARs and just the principle behind it. Like they should not be regulating, pieces of metal, firearms, anything, especially when it was founded into our Constitution, and then our forefathers found it so important to write the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms, and the second thing into our Constitution. Something has to be pretty important for them to put it as the second part, in my opinion. But wasn't deciding to spend that much money. Like I said, I was going to buy some lowers because of the assault weapons ban. I decided not to because here's the thing about me and having loose lowers laying around. I end up building everything that I have extra parts for. If I have an extra lower, I'm going to build a whole nother gun. And then if I'm going to build a whole nother gun, that's going to cost me a lot more money. So it's going to save me a lot of headache, time, and money if I don't have extra lowers laying around. And then I really wanted to invest in some better optics too. Looking at a Razor, Vortex Razor 1-6. I'm looking at a Primary Arms PLX-C. I do like the compact PLXs with the ACSS reticles. I'm looking at some different optics. I'd probably get another EOTech and G33. I do really like those, even though the battery life kind of sucks. I thought about getting an Aimpoint T2. I thought about getting an Aimpoint T2 to run on this. But this 6-hour Romeo 5 XDR is actually, it suited me just fine. It does really good for a budget red dot. It's just a budget red dot. So it's kind of weird to see on this type of build where it's a little bit Gucci. You got nice handguard, a Criterion barrel, a Geissele trigger in it, stuff like that. So M41 upper and lower. But I don't know. How did you guys do for Black Friday? Did you spend anything? I know money's tight for a lot of people. Me, that's not like I all my disposable income goes towards my gun hobby. Everything else doesn't. I can literally budget food for myself and like I budget food for myself about 40, $60 a week. So I can live off of 40 or $60 a week. My utilities are super low. I've made it so like I only pay like $60 a month for my electricity right now. I've made it that way, but I've worked really hard to get there. Um, my water is probably my most expensive utility. I pay about $85 to $95 a month for my water, no matter how much I use, how little I use, doesn't matter. It's always $85 or $95. My internet's my second most expensive utility at $65. And then, I got my cell phone and my rent and stuff. But so I can budget a lot more money on firearm parts and stuff. Plus, I don't currently have a girlfriend, and I'm going to tell you from my most recent experience with my most like four recent girlfriends that they're basically a money pit. So nothing against women out there. I'm just saying, like women are a money pit. So the it's going to save me a lot of money for Christmas. It's going to save me a lot of money in February by not having a girlfriend or a wife. I just right now I'm choosing that because I enjoy my hobby. I enjoy my time. I enjoy everything that comes with not being tied down. So that's just that's how I'm able to budget myself for a lot of these firearm parts. But I'm not literally trying to brag. I'm just telling you how I budget myself and why I can budget myself the way that I can. I can live off very little, so I can afford the nicer things and save up for the nicer things. But Black Friday, a little bit of a letdown this year, even though I think I did pretty good. I don't necessarily partake in Black Friday all that often. So, but anyway, guys, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.